Greetings. We're not at the Fredericktown homestead today. We're in Goshen, where I brought two clean-chinned boys up to a wedding. I brought a whole family, but there were two boys, both of them with shaven chins, and they're what I call the hatless Amish. They came up here to go to a wedding. A wedding is a formal occasion, one in which a hat is required, and you see that both of them left their hats in the back there. Those two hats got put up there as soon as they got in the van over in Mount Perry, Ohio, and they haven't left that spot right there. They've been hatless the whole trip. When they go into the gas station, they go in without a hat. This is a rule amongst the Fredericktown Amish that is often broken by the youth, but anybody who has children pretty much adheres to the ordinang, the rule that you must wear your hat, whether it be straw hat or felt hat. You must wear your hat when you are in public, when you're outside. You can't just walk around hatless like these boys do. These boys both smoke cigarettes. Their dad wore his hat to the wedding this morning. He's the father of the groom, but these boys, they haven't touched their hats since they started this trip. They'll take their hats out, and those hats will go back on the shelf as soon as they get home. And I don't imagine they wear their hats much to work unless they're trying to sell something. This is just kind of the way the Amish are going. They're losing the rules. They're not following the rules. As the younger generations come, these two boys are what will be the ruling party of the Amish in another few years as they grow older, get married, and as they age, there's a chance that either one of them or both could be church authorities, ministers, deacons, or even bishops. And they don't adhere to the ordinang. They don't wear their hats. They don't have good hat etiquette. The first thing that you notice about anybody, especially a man, but anybody, is their head covering. If they're not wearing a head covering, that tells you one thing, or if they're wearing a head covering, the nature of that head covering tells you a lot. When I went to breakfast this morning at Lux Cafe over here across the street, there were 5 Amishmen standing outside. At first I thought they were smoking, but I realized very quickly that they weren't. They were just standing out there waiting for the females in the crowd. But they were all wearing their hats, and I knew from their hats that they were from Ohio. And I just made maybe a lucky guess, but I thought, looking at their hats, I said, "Are you folks from Danville?" And he said, "How'd you know?" And I know I didn't say it, but I knew by their hats. But if you don't wear a hat, you're a hatless Amish. You might as well be English in my book. If you refuse to wear your hat, you're no better than the English. And these boys, well, that's where they stand. They smoke cigarettes, they don't wear their hats. Their vocabulary is less than stellar. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Take it or leave it. All right. God bless.